What is going on? Oh, shit. All right. We're going to start here in just a second. All right. I'm just finishing some promotion. Okay. All right. We are live. What is going on, everybody? Mario here in Fighting FX, in Fighting Exchange, a little earlier than we were going to be, but we're only going to do this one topic. News has broken. AJ Fury is done. It is 100% finished, signed, sealed, and delivered. And this comes off of a very rocky, 3 days. Or, okay, I should say, okay, so this comes off of yesterday, in which Fury started kind of doing a little bit of damage control, I guess. I wouldn't even call it damage control, but he's just like, oh, here comes here comes a announcement imminently is the word he used. And that stemmed from about 4 or 5 days, right? A lot of the tail end of last week into the weekend of UFC 330 and constant questions that Dana had to address regarding AJ Fury. And he even said in the press conference on Saturday that, he couldn't say for sure whether this fight was going to get. I mean, he didn't say that, but he basically said, look, this fight has taken a long time to get done. A lot of people have tried, and he's there patting himself on the back, like, oh, we got the venue done. We got the what else did he say? We got the date, we got the venue. Like, he started getting into the broadcast, but all that's the easy part. I mean, it's not the easy part, but that's AJ Fury's. That's a fight that sells itself. Like, it's already been done, right? The hard work for that promotion's already been put in. So you have oh shit. Hold on. I don't know why this stuff is not processing. Why is it not going through? Oh, there we go. Okay, let's see. All right, my bad. So, what we saw was basically a version of this fight be announced or try to get announced a couple of times. You'll remember that the AJ going to Tyson Fury's fight when he came back was supposed to be the announcement, right? And you had several contributing factors, and Turkey was probably the biggest one, saying, oh, we have an announcement, we're gonna have this big earth-shattering announcement. And then when it came to the point, AJ and Eddie refused to get in the ring. And this was absolutely something where they took a stand, right? And the reason that I believe this got, look, there's a lot of reasons here, okay, why this fight might have taken so long to get done. I think the reason that it got started on a rocky place, even though they had the money, even though they had the broadcast, even though they had all the things that Mayweather Pacquiao didn't, that Mike Tyson Lennox Lewis didn't have before it was, signed. And so when you look at this unique situation in which the money's there, everything's there, it came down to pride, it came down to ego, and that's what you have to deal with when you're dealing with stars of these magnitudes. AJ was never going to look like the B side to Fury, or he was going to do his best not to. So to get into the ring to confront him on their terms, despite the fact that there was absolutely no deal done yet, AJ was never going to put himself in that position. So then you have this situation where you have, where's this fight going to take place? Where's this fight going to take place? And I think that's been the crux of a lot of this. Eddie Hearn has come out and, AJ's kind of played Captain Britain to a degree, not in reality, but to a degree he has, because there is this narrative that Tyson Fury's side, which consists of Zuffa and Dana White, won it in America, right? Whereas Eddie and AJ were fighting to have it in the UK. Now, I'm not saying that narrative's true or not true. What I am saying is that it does exist, right? I'll be honest, if I were AJ, I would put 10% of my check into just flying a bunch of fucking people from the UK over and just become Mr. UK. At this point, be like, oh man, I want, and look, I don't know how many people would buy that shit, right? Because ultimately, a lot of people are saying Netflix is the reason why this fight A is happening in New York, and then B is happening on a Friday, because the UFC has a fight on Saturday. I think it's the 21st. Let me see. And so that has been basically the story in a nutshell as we get to here. And so now that brings us to where we are at today. And today, August the 18th, Tuesday, August the 18th, we are official. It is now being reported that has been signed, sealed, and delivered. We're going to have a fight for Friday, November the 20th in Madison Square Garden, New York. So, it's been announced. So let's take everything just a step at a time here. And I think the easiest thing real quick would be to go on the Friday. Shout out to Matt in the chat. He said there's only one Tyson Fury. Tyson gonna chin the dosser, smash the sausage to bits, champ. You already know. No, we're going to talk about that too. But before we get to who's going to win, let's talk about the date. This is the simplest gripe that I have. Listen, Fridays are reserved for the best up-and-comers, let's call them. Fridays are reserved for the Friday night fights of the world. What the fuck is this? Over the show boxes. Okay. When you think of Fridays and boxing in America, right? I've never been to the UK ever, let alone on a Friday. But when you are in America and you're a boxing fan, there is a distinction between a fight on a Friday and that on a Saturday. And by the way, if Dana's listening at all, there's also a big difference between fights on a Saturday and a Sunday. I digress. Big time boxing happens on a Saturday. Everybody knows that. You know why big time boxing happens on a Saturday? You want me to tell you why? It's a kind of two-part reason. First of all, it's the same kind of reason why Monday after the Super Bowl is the most called in day or most taken off day of the year. I mean, obviously, there are holidays, but those are they take off a whole week or 3 days or whatever, right? The single most requested vacation day by itself is the Monday after the Super Bowl. And that's also the day that more people call in. So when you have a fight, right, a big time traditional championship boxing fight, you probably going to drink. just a little bit, I assume, right? And if you're coming and hanging out with me and my family, you're gonna eat barbecue while you drink. So, a lot of red meat and a lot of alcohol make it so that you don't really want to wake up the next day super early. Now, so a fight on a Friday, obviously gives credence to the Saturday. And so that's not a big deal. But it is the idea of what Saturday represents, right? Big time college football. I mean, there's just everything happens like on a Saturday, right? You put, NASCAR happens, there's golf. I mean, it's just everything throughout the weekend. The idea that this fight happens on a Friday feels like this is almost like Dana White's way of saying like this, not even Dana White. I'm sorry. That's me being, I'm projecting there. But this is almost like if the economics are saying boxing's just not big enough anymore. That's what this fight tells me. It's like this fight isn't as big as it used to be. This fight was big at some point and could have been on a Saturday and could have gone up against UT Oklahoma or the Lakers Knicks or the Dodgers Yankee. I mean, obviously none of that happens in November. I'm just saying at the end of the day, this could have gone up against anything because it at one point represented the number 1, number 2, or 3, one of the top 2 of the top 3 guys in the division. That's no longer what it represents. Shout out to Mex in the chat. He says, it technically hasn't been announced for clarity. Okay, yes. Okay, thank you. That's true. Boxing scene, several people are reporting that it hasn't, obviously been announced yet, like Zuffa and everybody, but the word is it is signed and it is done. Until we see the ring confirmation, there's still a window of opportunity. Here's the reason why I'm not going, and that's true. There is an opportunity there. There's still hope, I guess, but I'm just not that much of an optimist. All I've heard from the people that I trust is this fight's happening on a Friday. All I've heard from people that I trust is this fight is not happening in the UK. All I've heard from people that I trust is that at that moment that I spoke with them, Madison Square Garden and New York were the front runners. So it's like if it walks like a duck, quacks like a duck type of situation, I can't imagine that we're this close to an announcement and this breaks and then something changes. Unless people are like super pissed, right? But I doubt that's going to even happen. Mario, where is Friday Night SmackDown around the same time? Or has that not been scheduled? Probably not. I don't think they're going to schedule something that far out in advance. Let me see. That's a good question, though. What was it? November 20th. Friday, share we go. Nope, nothing. No venue, no date, no nothing. Although they're going to be in Corpus Christi at the Hillard Center in September, and I'm going. Okay. I don't see Friday thing as a big deal. Tank has had huge fights on a Saturday. Wait, what? I don't see the Friday thing as a big deal. Tank has had huge fights on a Sunday. Oh, yeah, Sunday. Yeah, listen, and this is what I was saying. This isn't like the biggest deal to me, right? If this was on a Sunday, I actually would be pissed about it. But I just feel like everything about boxing has changed so much that it's like not even the same, like it's not even the same like place that it was in like 5 years ago. And so the idea that this fight's going to take place in New York on a Friday, it just feels like this is like an alternative timeline, guys. Like what? Like let me ask you, it's like we go back like 5 years ago. I don't think anybody would make this like deal. Like if Poshmark had this fucking thing on, years ago, nobody's picking Friday in Madison Square Garden. But you're right, it's not the biggest deal. I can live with that. I mean, it's not even like, oh, I can live with it. I don't give a fuck. I don't. I really don't. This is not, and this is the whole point. This is not the fight that it once was. And I think Netflix is a bit scared, based on the fact that the Fury fight, like they've dipped their toe into the boxing water, but not even really, right? Putting on big time fights with big, huge names, that's not getting into the boxing business. That's getting into the spectacle business, right? That's why they don't have like a random week 3 Tennessee Cincinnati game. No, they have the Wembley game, is what Netflix is putting on, right? They're not putting like a random 12 o'clock game that would have been on CBS at the start of the season. No, they're going to Australia and they are going to put on a spectacle. And that's the kind of stuff that Netflix wants, right? They're not in the football business or the basketball. They're not in the sports business. They're in the spectacle business. In the same way, they're not in the music business. They didn't buy, fucking uh Beyonce's acoustic, like artistic concert, like Nirvana in the 90s on MTV. They bought her big ass stadium fucking thing. And then they bought the, game where she was going to do the halftime show. Shout out to Alex in the chat. What's up, guys? Beautiful day in the United States of America. Yeah. Dude, by the way, it's funny you just said that. I just saw this documentary that's coming out on Netflix about how 9/11 changed everything. It looks so good. It looks so good. It's on Netflix. It's called it's that series they did. Like they did one with the Cold War, which was really good. And then they did one with World War II. I still haven't seen that. And then they did Turning Point is what it's called. It's called Turning Point 9/11, how it changed everything. And so like in the documentary's trailer, there's a guy and he says, point to anything in America, any sort of military or like securities or anything really, and I'll show you how 9/11 changed it. Banking, everything. And so it looks really good. I'm not an optimist either. That's why I said window of opportunity and not hope. Yeah, no. I mean, window of opportunity is like I don't have, right? We don't have opportunity. We have hope in this situation. Hope that this isn't the date, but we don't have any opportunity to like change it. We don't have the opportunity to have options, right? All we can do is kind of pray that everything we're hearing isn't, because and again, I don't give a fuck. I really don't. It can happen on a Friday, I'm gonna watch it. It can happen on a Tuesday, I'm gonna watch it. The thing is just this is supposed to be two of the biggest heavyweights of all time. In any era I've grown up in any age that I've been, right? I was alive, a young little kid when Mike Tyson and Evander Holyfield fought and he bit his ear. And I don't remember like watching the fight. I remember being at my house, like in the scene, right? And I don't know. I just like when it comes to big time heavyweight boxing, I do remember a time, or at least I'm familiar enough with a time where it was competitive with baseball, football, basketball, if not the biggest sport in the world. And I think that this fight just shows how far American boxing has fallen. American heavyweight boxing has fallen, because now the biggest American heavyweight fight in this year is going to be two Brits in the heart of American boxing, Madison Square Garden, the Mecca. I don't know. It just doesn't feel like, I don't know. This just feels like a fucking cash grab now. They should do the Barclays instead. Why? I mean, I don't think that's a bad idea, but why instead though? Madison Square Garden is historic, but the Barclays does feel more the Barclays feels more appropriate. Definitely. It definitely does. Now that you say that. I still want to ask you why though. Why, Matt? Because I don't see a reason why it has to or needs to, but I still agree with you. That's weird. Here's the thing, Mario. That is what happens when people consistently overhype yesteryear's boxing and want things to go the old way. Very true. That's a very, very true statement. Let me read this just in case this is part of it. So now let's remember big fights that included Ali, Leonard, Tyson, etc. happen on random days in the week and anywhere in the world. Very, very true. That's a very good point. Now, here's going to be my counter to that. It's one thing to suggest that boxing has changed over the years and sports have changed over the years and they evolve, and you're right. So it's like we can't hold oh, only championship big time boxing happens on a Saturday night in America. That said, though, the changes you're talking about from the Leonard years and the Ali years and the Frazier years, you're talking about positive increases, right? Because the networks ended up going full-fledged, having boxing on in a weekly or at least monthly uh you know time block, right? Like they had a budget for it, right? So then you got into the HBO days. So when boxing changed from the 50s to the 70s, the money, everything it grew, right? And so the sport evolved. And then the 80s and the 90s and the spectacle started getting bigger and better. And then we had HBO boxing. And at that point, everything was polished. Everything was professional. Everything felt like it, I don't want to say belong. That sounds weird, but it felt like it was meant to be the way it was presented, just like the way WWE does it, just like the way Fox does their broadcasts of football. And it's a little different from the way CBS broadcasts and does replays and goes into commercials and uses their graphics. All those things are different, even though they accomplish the same thing. In this case, is boxing getting better? Is boxing evolving, right? Is there a future in this sport with the changes and the things that are to be made? I don't know, dude. I don't know. I'm kind of scared. Don't hesitate, Mario. Dana White is pulling the strings. Dana forced Eddie's hand and exposed the lie of the fight having to happen in UK. No, that is not what happened, Alex, at all. First of all, I'm going to be honest with you. Everything I'm hearing, Dana had very little to. He didn't he didn't choose, and like Dana went through the motions, if I'm being honest, it feels like. And Eddie had no power in this, guys. Like it's a mistake to consider that Eddie and Dana's online arguments have anything to do with what's going on in the background and what's actually pulling the strings. Dana has no more power over this situation than Eddie, and they are all beholden to the wallet of Saudi and Turkey. That is it's like saying, oh, the brothers are arguing over the toy. Which one do you think is going to get the toy? I'll tell you who's going to get the toy. Who the fuck the dad says is going to get the toy. If the dad wants to buy him both the toy, they're both going to get the toy. So that's basically what this is. This is a power move, equal or more powerful than snatching Conor Benford. Not even close. Not even close. No, this is and this is what I'm saying. This is what I don't. Maybe I'm not getting this through because I'm not doing a good enough job. Everything about this announcement, again, Mex reminded us, so I want everybody to remember what Mex said. This isn't officially announced yet, but it looks like it's done. Everything about this announcement feels like a commentary on the value of Tyson Fury versus AJ, as opposed to who won this, who won that. They are trying to cut costs down. They'll make more money in America. They'll make more money on a Friday. They'll make more money in November. They'll make more money than they would in the UK. All those things can be true. I don't know if they are, but they can be true. And that's the driving force here. It's not Eddie trying to mog fucking Dana. It's not Dana fucking taking over anything. This is all stupid, not stupid, but this is all like this is all fan interjecture, right? Because people want to say, people that like Eddie want to root for Eddie. People that like Dana want to root for Dana. And that's fine. You can do that. But I don't want you to get lost in the truth, in the ultimate truth. And that is that Turkey and Saudi control exactly what we're going to do. Don't remind me about this shit, Mario. We got our ass whooped that game. Oh, I remember. Alex, what you're leaving out is Eddie said, or they will rework the contract, which Dana was bitching about literally last night. Yeah, that's true too. You could say that Dana's in control of this, and he's certainly the face of it. He's certainly the lead, right? But to suggest that like Dana's just has like everything under his that's not even close to true. This fight would have gotten done and announced so many more times if Dana was in control. Do you know how much of a reaction, or do you know how badly he wanted to announce Tyson Fury and AJ the night at the White House on the UFC lawn with with Tyson Fury stepping foot on America, dressed like an American whore, uh, showing the world, hey, look, I have the friends now to get back in America. So fuck off. You know what I'm saying? Like that was a flex that he would have loved to have been able to announce at that moment. And he couldn't. He couldn't announce it. I mean, I'll be honest, I think Dana's getting his dick knocked around every single day in boxing. Every single day. I think he's like, fuck, dude. They are just making this an impossible job, right? But the good thing if you're Dana is you've been through this before. So you know you have the ability to withstand and go forward. The bad thing is you were way younger and you had far less on your table. And that's really where I want to get into with this fight now. So Eddie didn't lie about anything. I don't know. Check the group chat, Mario. Let's see how much of a string puller Dana is with real superstar fighters. Hearn just did a video saying that they have not signed a new deal for it to be an NY. Oh, shit, dude. Let me put it this way, guy. Oh, wait. Let me put it this way, guys. Which fight will generate bigger numbers overall? Joshua versus Wilder or Wilder versus Usyk? Oh, Joshua versus Fury, of course. Doesn't mean it won't happen there because I think it eventually does. Hearn is playing hardball, likely to squeeze out some more millions. Yeah, see, this is, dude, and this goes into the entire basis of this. Like, how does Dana have any control of any of this if this is the concept? And by the way, this hurts. By the way, what Abe is talking about here, this hurts the promotion. Just so y'all know, this hurts the promotion. For people to constantly, I remember when Manny Pacquiao and Mayweather got made, it officially got made. Dude, it took days, if not weeks, for some people to actually believe it. Like they just got, nah. Like, and so this idea that you can just have a theoretical fight date, dude, this is crazy. This is crazy. There's a whole logistics roadmap that would have to get worked out for a fight to now be in New York. Anyone who thinks Wilder Usyk would generate more money than AJ Fury should genuinely be tested for the tism. Barclays seating sucks, though. MSG designed for a better viewing. Yeah, I've never been to either. Abe, Hearn and Joshua holding up the fight confirmed. Prima donnas. Yo, I love Alex. Alex is the best, dude. He's like, yo, Dana fucking doing, and then he's like, yeah, fucking Hearn and Joshua holding it up. And look, but look, he's not wrong. He's not wrong. And prima donnas, that's an opinion that you're very much entitled to. Is it though? Like, because like, let's say Alex, you and I were gonna fight, and Abe is the Dana White in this situation, right? Like, if I'm the A side in this, and I'm trying to like bully you into taking whatever I think you should take so that there could be more in the pocket for me and my brother and my uncles and everybody who's on my team, right? Like you would want somebody to fight for you, right? Let's say you would want Matt to jump in and be like, nah, champ, you're going to give him this, and this, or this is not going to be a fight. So it's like, I'm not saying you should care, and I'm not saying you should empathize. I'm saying that this is the sport. So we're stuck. Yeah, but on TV, to me, Barclays looks better. The word is superstar, Alex. I know that's a foreign concept nowadays in the UFC world. Man, Mex is like the fucking troll of the century. Honestly, there are being good businessmen in knowing their position and leverage. If Netflix is writing a big check, why not squeeze as much out as you can? Can't knock them, Alex. My gripe is the UK not getting the fight at home. Absolutely. And that's like the next part of this is where look, all I know, and I've said this before, so I'm not going to go on this long. All I know is that the reason that Fury and Joshua are such a big fight is largely due to the UK, right? They bought their shitty fights. They bought the fights that none of us wanted to see in America. They bought the Fury comeback, right? They stood behind that man when he was suffering from alcoholism, when he was suffering from drug addiction, when he was discovering that he suffers from bipolarism, from depression. Okay, I was just watching the Tyson Fury show on Netflix, and they were talking about how the 3 years after his initial retirement were the worst 3 years of their marriage. He went through so many dark times. And I wonder to myself, right? How how much of this for Tyson is just a cash grab, right? How because he seemed happy in that life. He seemed content. He said so many times on that show, the way I feel today, I don't ever want to fight again. Did he get that itch to go back to two-a-days? Did he get that itch to go back and get punched in the face over and over? No. No. Stop. Let's stop pretending. Don't get me wrong, the structure of having a fight and going to the gym is beautiful for your life. But there's a difference between going to the gym so that you don't spiral out from bipolarism or other mental health issues, and a difference between training to fight at the world level. And so I think that it's messed up for them not have it in the UK, honestly, on everybody's part. But there is no person, I think, letting down the UK more than Tyson Fury in this whole thing. And I know I have no right to say that, right? Well, you know what? I do. You know what? Fuck that. I'm Manchester Mark. Look at the shirt I'm wearing today. If any day I can fucking stand on my 10 toes for the UK. You know what? Fuck that. I'm getting on my soapbox for the fucking UK. Let me tell you something. No, I'm just playing. Yeah, I said I was going to do it real quick, and then I crash out. Like, imagine Spence Crawford landed in the O2. Exactly. Oh, you know what? Oh, I got y'all real quick. Hey, I'm going to be back in like 10 seconds. Don't go nowhere. All right, I got a bit. Hold up. Wait. What do people eat in the UK? Whoa, howdy. It's Cowboy Mario telling you that if you want the best fish and chips, what do they sell in the UK? Fish and chips in the world, you come right here to Corpus Christi, Texas. Wait, let me look up some more real quick so this could be funnier. UK foods. It just says shit. No, I'm just playing. You want fish and chips? You come down here. A Sunday roast? You know where you could go, El Paso. Full English breakfast? Come down to Laredo. They all speak Spanish, though. We get you some pies and bakes down here in Texas. Let me tell you, like, this is exactly what the commercial for Tyson Fury and AJ is. It's like, hey, you ever wanted to have a big time UK fight with a fucking real life gypsy? Come to New York. That's where you're going to see it. Need that man, Emiliano Vargas, on the card. That would be pretty good. Joseph, check out Islam's numbers. His boring fight generated double of what Clarissa's did, but I digress. That's not even a fair fight. I spent a while show trashing Clarissa. No numbers, shields. And you got mad. She's no superstar. She proved my point. With millions and millions of people watching too, Mario, Uncle Dana knows his place. I just read that. Oh, people don't believe Maypac was happening literally up until weigh-in day. That's how bad it had gotten. The fight is 8 years too late. Just get it over with and make room for some real fighters. Don't get a cut of AJ another nowhere. There's always, oh, my bad. Boxing is worldwide. Rumble in the Jungle and Thriller in Manila are still getting talked about. Exactly. Also, wasn't it Top Rank saying Fury owes them a fight in America still? Oh, shit. I forgot all about that. But they'll probably just get money on the top, though, or wherever off of his side. Also, keep in mind, Netflix has invested a ton of money on both. This is their ROI. Yeah, that's true. They have invested a lot. And it's such a short time, too. That's crazy. The fight is scheduled for Friday, November 20th. Netflix wants it primetime USA. Here it comes, Mario's AJ Shield coming out. Yeah, dude, I'm going to tell you right now. We're going to go into who's winning this fight, and I'm going to tell y'all right now, AJ's winning this fight. AJ is 100% winning this fight. Tell Mario to wash his We about to see fanboy Mario come out for AJ. Oh, you know it, champ. Foreman and Norton in Venezuela, George Foreman and Joe Frazier in Kingston, Jamaica. Boxing has no borders. Very true, but it certainly does have a what's the word? Specifically in the United States, it certainly has like a theme, or not, maybe not a theme. What's the word? Like, okay, it's like Mech said, you're not going to put Verge and Spence in, New York or Florida or, well, maybe Cali, but, that fight belongs in Texas, right? It's like Chavez and Whitaker, or Manny Pacquiao Barrera. There are these fights that do better in certain places, right? And I'm not saying Tyson Fury and Joshua can't do well in New York. What I am saying though is that I can't imagine them taking away Chavez De La Hoya from us, like if they made it in like fucking Japan or somewhere crazy, like random, right? And I get it. America is the place where you come to become a star, right? I mean, Tyson Fury and AJ are not even close to the stars that they are if they don't come to the US, right? I mean, everybody remembers AJ coming to the US. That was like a big old deal, right? That's when Big Baby Miller popped. And so it was this huge thing. He was coming. Can he sell out New York? Can he, all of that was a question. Why was it a question? Because he was coming outside of the place where he had made his name. So my point isn't that the fight can't happen in New York, or it shouldn't even happen in New York. All I'm saying is that when Barrera and Morales fought, or when we had some of the biggest Mexican fights and Chavez was fighting, that was like a whole week for us. Like that was a whole week of us talking and hanging out and preparing the meet on Friday, and I don't know, there's just something bonding about it. And I feel like the UK gets that. I feel like the UK gets that part of it. And so I would hate for boxing to take away the finances of boxing, the financiers of boxing to take away a fight that we would treasure much more than somewhere else. And again, that has nothing to do with the money, right? So I mean, I'm just giving these like little kid sort of arguments, but it's really all I have. That was 18 seconds, but with YouTube delay, I'll give you 16 seconds. He's getting sparked out like a dosser. He is. Exactly, Bruce. And I was saying earlier, everyone always says they went yesteryear's boxing back's part of it. Yeah, you did say that. If I was in the UK, I would be on a Saturday afternoon in America getting very little coverage from anyone but the hardcore boxing community. Very, very true. And that's what this is all about, right? This is all about maximizing revenue, spending less to make more, right? Spending the least amount so that you can maximize what that capital, like what that ceiling mark could be, right? And so that's what this is, and that's what they're getting for it, I'm sure. I don't know though. It's like I don't know. I can't call it. I know this is a bigger fight here if it's on the day and the time that it is. But hello? No, on IG or what? Oh shit. I didn't even. Oh, on text. No. Hold on. Did you just wake up or what? Oh, okay. Well, I'm live. Do you want me to call you as soon as I'm done? I was gonna text you. Oh, okay, bye. Bye. What is this? God damn it, Mackenzie, son of a bitch. She's such an idiot. Let me see. No matter what, many people hit the boxing business first. Mario will be your mustache to my beard if Fury wins. Hey Matt, now's the time to counter program. Hilarious. Heavyweights are different. Even your grandmother knows the heavyweight champion. See, and that's where we are today. And that's kind of like the whole point. It's like that is now no longer the case. Or I don't know if it is the case, but it used to be like I asked my grandma. I remember one time I was like maybe 25, maybe 30. So I was somewhere around there. And I asked her what boxers she knew. And it was nothing but heavyweights. It was, and my uncle, my great uncle, her brother did box. So, they had boxing, and she knew and understood it. And so yeah, that's true. There was a time where literally everyone knew the heavyweight champion of the world. I don't know. Shout out to Abe. Barrera and Morales didn't fight in Mexico though. They fought here. They aren't America. But that's what I meant though. Is it was here? It was in America. It was wait. Where was it though? Because wasn't it in Texas or was it in California? Um, where was that? It was. Oh, it was Las Vegas. Never mind. Well, I mean, but either way, it's like somewhere you can travel. All I'm saying is you have that fight in Texas, California, or Vegas. That's where it's supposed to be. And yeah, I guess it's where it's supposed to be. It's also generating the most money. This is like completely different. This is a hop skip from the pond that you live in all the way back over here. Again, this is about where these fighters are from, right? And they're from the UK. These are, like none of y'all know what a fucking y'all are in here in the chat using words like Dosser and shit. Like y'all fucking would have known what that was if it wasn't for, these guys and their fucking fans crashing our fucking channels every day. You know what I mean? For like the last 10 years. And so, and for all I know, these guys don't even give a fuck, right? For all I know, the UK is like, I want to pay for this fucking fight that's going to be way too much money to go to. So, I'm not going to like bitch about it. But again, I just think it should be in the UK. Last time two British heavyweight boxers headlined a show in the United States was July 1997 when Lennox Lewis defended the WBC heavyweight title against Henry Ikewande. Ikewande was from the UK, but he wasn't a UK native, was he? Maybe he was. Bet. Sorry, I will put my beard. All right. Yeah. All right, let's do it. Fuck it. I'll tell you what. I'll put the whole thing on. This is how. Let me tell you. Let's get into it now. All right. AJ versus Fury. I'm gonna tell y'all right now. AJ's got this, bro. AJ's got this. AJ's got this. Let me tell y'all why. Fury. See, if Fury had come back and fought like a hard fight or somebody who like could have tested him a little bit, I would say Fury's in the spot to win. But y'all got to remember something about Tyson Fury. He is not just like the best version of himself at all times. That's not even close to the case, right? Like Floyd Mayweather is a freak of nature. This guy can be out of the sport for a million years, right? And then come back and he looks fucking 29 on the bag and he's just fucking, six-pack abs. He's a freak. That's not how normal people are. Something wrong with him. He must be part alien. Bernard Hopkins as well. There's just like all these athletes from sport to sport that were just freaks of nature. But you know what? And I shouldn't say that either because that sounds degrading. Floyd worked super, super fucking hard and didn't consume alcohol or tobacco or drugs. And that is a huge, huge, huge benefit. Let me tell you, if you want to be a healthy person, the last thing you want to do is drugs. That was a joke. So anyway, does it matter? Ed Morales aren't Americans, so the Mexicans didn't get that. But that's not who they belong to, champ. Like, see, this is your problem. First of all, we're all North American. That's first of all. I could go to Mexico and go to a quinceañera and be totally fucking fine. And I know Mexicans that come over here and they work and they fucking don't do shit. I mean, like, not that they don't do shit, but they fucking, they work and then they go back. That's all they do, or send their money back. At the end of the day, it's the culture aspect, right? There could be a dude who's born in America who lives in the UK and he grew up on fish and chips. It's like culture shit, right? Where are you from? What do you understand? What do you know? That fight belonged to me. I'm not Mexican, but that shit was mine. I can promise you. I know I spent more time watching that fight, debating that fight, talking about that fight, and that whole era of featherweights back then than anybody else. And so at the end of the day, it was the culture of boxing. It shreds. What's the word? Like, yes, boxing is very tribalist. It's very like tribalism type shit, but it's not restrictive. It's not like there are white fans of Floyd. There are Asian fans of Floyd. You know what I mean? This is completely different. To suggest, oh, they're Mexicans, it belongs to Mexicans. No, they made their fucking names in America. If AJ and Fury had fought in America their entire career, right? like I would say the same thing, or I would say that the fight belongs in America. My point is at their worst, right? At their least valuable, the UK is the one that bought them. The UK is the one that supported them. So you could say, oh, well, this is a thing where, like, you know, the fight should be at whatever country those people represent. I'm not even saying that. I'm saying the fight should be had in the location where it could be best celebrated. That's what I'm saying. Put on 1 second for Joseph Mario. What does that mean? Put one on the scoreboard for Joseph Mario. Don't use travel as an excuse, though, Mario. Mayweather versus Haddon sounded like the fight was in Manchester and not Vegas. Yeah, I don't think you understand what I'm saying, though. I'm not saying that this is like a thing that, like, I don't want to hurt the fight or like like them coming over. Not at all. Because I think more Americans are going to be there that night. I don't think this is going to be a Ricky Hatton type of situation. I could be wrong. But I don't know. I just don't think these guys represent that anymore over there. Like, I remember when I watched that Fury documentary, right? Yo, there would be people in the park that would come up to Fury and be like, hey, I think Joshua will beat your ass. And he'd be like, man, I think anybody beats your ass. Like, you know what I mean? And they'll go back and forth. I don't really think it's like that anymore. I think people have moved on so much. And so that's why they're probably afraid to have it over there. They don't think that, you know, it would do the numbers. And I get that. I accept it. That said, though, it's like, why did K Dot go back to do the pop-up in California, or in LA? Like, why did Terrence Crawford go back to Omaha? Like, why does everybody go back to where they go? Right? Because they're trying to, like, give back to their spot. This is a big ask to be like, hey, give one of your biggest fucking fights and paydays to the UK. I get that. All I'm saying is I think they deserve it. They're selling the sizzle, not the steak. Very well said, Bruce. They said the same thing before he fought Wilder, Mario. Yes, very true. Very true. They did say the same thing. And I think there was every reason to doubt him in that fight. He came back and he showed he has the ability to close that gap without having to be super active. That said, I mean, dude, how long ago was that? When was that fight? 2018. Yo, we 8 years into that shit. 8 years. How old is Fury now? 38. Damn, he's only 38. Bro. Yo, no way Tyson Fury is 38. That's a joke, right? Bro. That's a hard life. Champ looks damn near 50. Yo, Tyson Fury hasn't looked 38 in like 20 years, bro. Fury is using his whining formula, 2 tune-ups, and gets the big win. The 2 fights before Wilder and even arguably the Klitschko fight. I'm not fucking North America. Yeah, first of all, yes, you are North American. So they did build their names in Mexico. Mexico didn't support. Okay. No, they made their names in America. America were their biggest fights. I mean, yes, they built themselves up there, but then they cashed out and came into America, right? That's not what AJ did. That's not what Fury did. They had some of their biggest fights. They had to make their names in America. That's completely different than the road from Mexico to the States is not even like, it's a joke if you're trying to make the comparison. They're apples and oranges. It's totally different. You know, for a guy from the UK to make it over here, it's so much. He needs so much more help. He needs so much more. Like, he needs to have a plan before he gets here. I mean, I've known Mexican fighters that fucking show up to a gym and they just show up and they fucking eventually work there and live there and fucking that's their fucking spot for a while. Shit, I'll also bet the UK will travel well for this fight. What does that mean, though? Sounds like the UK in there. What does that mean though? Because that's what I'm saying. I don't know, champ. I mean, like, because like what would you say the portion was? What was the percentage of Hatton fans in the building for Floyd, Mex? What would you say that was? Because it seemed fucking 50-50. At times it seemed like it was 100% Hatton. They went nuts from Brooks and the bum con when that was past the sell date. Did they go nuts though? And I'll say that was a lot more affordable of a fight, right? Like AJ Fury, like Khan and Brooke, like that didn't increase in value. If anything, it decreased in value, right? They didn't pay Khan or Brooke as much as they would have like 3, 4, 5 years before that fight happened. I don't know. But you could be right though. You could be right. You could be right. And they did, and a lot of, and see that's the other part. It's like the UK is used to traveling. These are like islands separated. Like they travel. It's not even like they don't have a problem coming anywhere and being the loudest people in the a building. I'm predicting win or loss. Joshua fights at least one more fight after Fury. What would be that one fight? Fury definitely cashed out and came into America, Mario. What the fuck? Yeah, I mean he did, but then he got like excluded and kicked out, right? Like this is what I'm trying to say. Fury, he nobody believed in him, right? Everybody thought he was just a crackhead, cokehead. The UK hyped him back up, right? So nobody in America was a fan of his. And then the UK brought him back, and then he came back with Wilder, and he did what he did. And so then, yes, after that, he sold his soul to Top Rank. But the Daniel Kinahan stuff made him persona non grata. So you can't make it seem like, oh, Tyson Fury been getting bread over here, like he sold out. Like he tried to sell out, it didn't work. So whether he thinks he owes it to them or not, the truth is the UK had his back when he was down the worst, when he was down real bad. So it's like, you want to be a champ for your people? How about this? If you're gonna have the fight in New York, fucking pay for like 10,000 tickets. 10,000 tickets, or not 10,000, that's way too much. Pay for like, I don't know, what would be like a good amount of tickets you could, but then you have to buy like a bunch of shit tickets for the UK. So then it's like, I mean, but they're free. But then you got to pay their flight too, because flights are. This is what I'm saying. Like, this is the worst time to have the UK travel. Like, if you are a UK superstar and you're like, I'm gonna go have my fight in America, you're basically saying, suck a fucking Iran dick. Like, you're basically saying, I don't give a fuck what's happening around the world. I don't care how much harder it is for you to travel. I don't care how dangerous it is for you in America if you're not born here to be fucking walking around the streets. I don't give a fuck. We're going to go get paid and you're going to shut the fuck up. The number has always been that Hatton brought 20K from the. Oh, I remember that was the. Damn, no, that's fucking bullshit, bro. 20K is a fucking crazy number, bro. Man, America, yo, don't y'all wish y'all were 30 and 40 back in that time when money was just traveling all well and shit? You didn't have to fucking hustle crazy shit. Nah, you're wrong, champ. You're wrong. You're wrong. Nah, the crowd ain't gonna be with Fury, champ. I promise you. The crowd ain't, because people forget. Everybody hates Fury. Like people hate Fury. Nobody likes Fury. Who likes Fury? You know what I mean? Like I can't even. Joshua can have a farewell tour in the UK. Maybe take a fight in Nigeria. Yeah, I guess so. Fury's gonna have 6 mega fights. 3 are in the States. He cashed out here after beating Klitschko. 6 mega fights. 3 are here in the United. No, I'm gonna look that. You're wrong. You're wrong. I'm gonna look that up. Why am I looking up Klitschko? You're wrong. You're wrong. You're wrong. Let me see. And that's the other part. People forget Tyson Fury's actual first dip into American sports was the Steve Cunningham shit. Steve Cunningham. And so that when he went there, Kevin Johnson. Oh yeah, he fought Kevin Johnson, and then he fought Steve Cunningham in Madison Square Garden. Oh no, it was at the theater. It was at the theater. That's right. That's right. Remember, because y'all remember that Cunningham got dropped. No. Cunningham dropped him. Yo, I want to watch that real quick. Yo, y'all remember this shit? Look at Tyson Fury with the hair. Shit, y'all don't know the cocaine. It fucks the follicles out of you.
This is the heaviest we've seen Steve Cunningham at 210. Fury working on the jab early.
And now I'm getting properly prepared for these fights. Good shot by Steve Cunningham there.
Cunningham missing with that right. Fury now taunting him, saying, come on. Landed some good ones right there. Round one coming to an end.
Oh, I thought he knocked him down in round one.
Fury shoving Cunningham, and there he is at the start. Round two.
Yo, this guy was a showman from the dough in. Oh my God. Yo, Tyson, yo, say whatever you want about this man, but he can eat a fucking shot, bro.
That's the punch right there. Steve Cunningham was looking to land that overhand right. Tyson Fury got too aggressive and got caught with a big shot.
Even more aggressive.
Oh, shit.
This isn't the soft puncher he thought it was, and he just caught Steve Cunningham with a nice right hand there, and Steve's got to be careful.
As Cunningham's corner said, size alone is a threat anytime. Coming to an end, Steve Cunningham.
To keep the bigger man.
Yo, this was crazy.
By Fury once again. Fury's strongest round.
Wait, when did he knock him out? Oh, it was the 7th. I remember now.
Steve's almost done here. Look at this.
God damn. Yo, the ref would let Fury get away with a lot.
And walking Steve down, getting him tired. Good body shot. Steve's almost done here. Look at this.
Look at that shit. That was nasty work, bro.
Steve's almost done here.
Okay, you see that? That's fucked up. There is almost no way to guard from what happens next. He is, and this is a tactic. I don't know if you understand this. He's doing this on purpose. This is not a accident, or this is very much part of the Tyson Fury,
Look at this.
Damn, that's nasty, bro. I forgot he even did that. That's fucked up. He should have been y'all think, Bruce, are you still there? Should he have been DQ'd for that? I feel like he should have been DQ'd for that. Jesus, Mario. What did I say? I forgot what I said. Alex said, that's fucked up, Alex. You know why? Because you live in a nice ass Yo, you don't even know. Mex drives around all day, bro. Fucking ICE could kill him at any moment, bro. They'd just be like, hey, this dude looks fucking, we know he ain't. We know he didn't get this truck from somewhere legal. I like Tyson Fury. Do you? No, you don't. Stop it. You never liked him. Champ. Shout out to Doomsday in the chat. Shout out to Doomy. Klitschko, Wilder, too. No. You were right. I just didn't want to tell you were right. I saw it. You were right. You were right, Max. I'm sorry. You were right. Fuck. I don't know what you want me to say. You were fucking right. There. Stop yelling at me. Machine Pistola. Isn't that also the fight where Fury punched himself in the face? Oh, was that the fight? Fury. Oh, what the fuck? Oh. What the fuck? Fury punches himself. No, that wasn't. It did look like it though. It did look like it though. Yo, what a dumb fucking dosser, bro. Yo, what a dosser. What a fucking dosser. Let's watch this. Oh, what a dosser, bro. What a dosser. What a damn. And he hit himself hard, dog. He fucking hit him. He gave it to himself, bro. Oh my God. Look at him. Yo, he's like, I hit hard. Look at his face afterwards. Oh shit. Look at that. I'm gonna try to pause it right where it happens. Oh, wait. Can I? Oh, I could do this. Oh, it won't work like that though. Damn. All right. I'm gonna try to stop it right where it happens. Never mind. All right. So he hits himself, and watch this. You're gonna get like a split second. It's super fast. So pay attention. Look at his face after the punch reaction. It's like this, like, oh fuck, right? Because I've seen it. Right? Everybody knows this is the biggest left hand in Border Wars history. Everybody knows that. This is literally the place where you know that. And so I throw it and I see when it hits, and I see it for the first time when somebody's like, oh shit, he can crack. And it's this look like, oh, like realization, like, okay, I'm gonna do things different now, right? I've seen it in everybody I ever hit hard, I should say, because I've never hit everybody I sparred, I've never hit hard, right? But anyway, so look, here it is right here. Watch. Tyson Fury gets hit. Oh. Look at this motherfucker with this fucking crazy ass fucking, what is this called? What's that called? Oh fuck, I forgot. Ours is like less pronounced than apes, and that makes us smarter. And I think that's why Tyson's Fury sticks out like a bulging butthole. I don't know, dude. This was hilarious though. I love this. Thank you, Matt, for this trip down memory lane. All right. So, wait, where the fuck were we? Somebody activated Doomatron. Make sure it's muted. I'm planting my flag. The UK is going to travel really well for this fight, and Fury will have the worst 55 45 crowd advantage. This is, bro, you're tripping right now. So you think after the summer surge that the UK is going to travel with the straight closed or halfway closed, whatever the fuck it is today. Who knows? Every day it's basically different. Yeah, I don't see it, champ. I don't see it. Like, here's the thing. If you're saying like would want to go, yes, I could see that. But, you know, we're talking about boxing fans that are going to be at the end of the year, right before Christmas is going to start. I don't know, champ. I don't see it. I don't see them traveling. I really don't. That's not true about cocaine, and the hair can vouch, but don't. Ice would kill me. Ice would kill me. I comply and I'm legal. They would kill you because, and you could comply and be legal and they would kill you. I absolutely agree with that. If Fury ever signs with Zuffa, I would classify him as a very reluctant, uneasy ally. If Fury ever signs with Zuffa, I would classify him as a very reluctant, uneasy. What does that mean, though? Why? I think he would just be the person that fight. I don't know. I mean, do you feel that way about his time with Top Rank? That's an interesting comment, Alex. Very interesting. Yeah, they're going to take one look at him and think he's part of Los Tigres. Ice wouldn't kill me. Wouldn't kill you. I comply and I'm not Mexican. Oh, champ. I'm going to one day next time we hang out, I'm going to teach you the ways of the world, champ. I'm going to teach you that sometimes there's a person who doesn't care where you're from, but how you look. But don't worry, because you're gonna be with me, and I pass for Weddle, so they will definitely be like, "Oh, is this your Mexican? Are you gonna take care of him? Are you making sure that he's being all right?" And I'll say, "Hey, you can't make them do anything. All right, I'm Mexican, I can say that. So, and I'm also white, so I can say that." They're going to travel well, Mario. No, you're tripping, champ. You're tripping. Here's the thing: if your argument is that they want to travel or they would be willing to travel, sure. But now you're talking like what's a not not fairy tale? What's it called? Like fast light? What's it called? It's like a fuck. It's a term where you're supposing a situation without the regard of the obstacles and nuances that complicate it. You can't say that. I mean, you can say that, obviously. Like, but then you're saying that this fight is so big for the UK and they want it so badly that there are going to be some people that are going to be willing to like give their kids shit gifts, or they're going to be like willing to like get foreclosed or not pay their mortgage or their house or their car payment. Like, these are choices. Like, people, like, there's a demographic. Let's say this 60% hypothetical is what you would what's the word? Like, suppose, right? Okay. So let's take 100% of that 60%. They run the gamut, or the spectrum, as it relates to money, right? And what they make. So automatically in that 100%, you're probably cutting off like 40% of people who just straight can't afford the flight, can't afford the hotel, can't afford any of that. There's no way. Maybe 40 is probably way too much. Maybe it's like 25%. Maybe it's like closer to 25. I mean, and obviously I'm supposing so much about this, but I mean, when you factor in what the medium wage is, actually, though, I can't say this. I don't know anything about the UK. What do people make in the UK? Medium wage for UK. The hell, not Kentucky, you fucks. Oh, 32,890 pounds or euros. How much is that in fucking American? In American. Yeah, we're in America, Google. We're in fucking America. So if I ask a fucking question, obviously I want it back in American. In American. So like 52,000. So like average person in the UK makes 52,000. Let's be honest, the vast majority of boxing fans are, middle class to lower income wage people. So then 52,000, how much does it cost probably to fly? So what do y'all think that it would cost, like, for somebody to travel here in November? Y'all travel way more than I do. I mean, I traveled, but people, Nest paid, or not Nest, but the people paid for me to travel. So I don't really know. I mean, I guess I bought the ticket. So, but it was different, right? I flew to Atlanta. Like, I have no idea how much it costs to fly to the UK. The furthest place I flew was Wisconsin or Jersey, which is farther. I don't know. What do y'all think they would spend? I don't know. This is a complicated question for me because I there's so many variables I don't have. Jesus Christ, y'all are y'all yelling at me? Mexican is not a race, Mario. All right. You don't get jokes. Most ICE agents look like me and you, buddy. Yeah, but most ICE agents today are not nearly they're the bottom of the barrel. You understand that, right? The force that increased. There is an ICE agent who was retired, consultant, and his report suggested that over 40 or no, it was 20. He said it was over 20% of the current influx of people had like been completely turned away by the army or like some branch of military or the police. And then it was like close to 40% of them were in desperate. He said it was a critical need for retraining. So you're not understanding that. You're not talking about police. You're not talking about special agents. We're not talking about ATF. We're talking about garbage men and bus driver. No, bus drivers are way smarter than that. We're talking about literally the bottom of the barrel. So no, they maybe they look like you, but they're still prejudiced against people that look like you. I'm from the Republic of Texas, sir. I'm not. I'm from South Texas. My argument isn't about want or willing. Have been crystal clear. They will travel. No. I'm not saying what your argument is. I'm saying if your argument is willing, then I could just shut up right now. I'd be like, yep, yeah, you're probably right. But the idea that you're just saying they will travel because they're willing to, because in your mind, explain that to me though, because you're just saying that they're going to buy tickets. I can't. So you're saying this is a huge fight for them. So you believe this is like, what would be the equivalency? Like Hatton Floyd, I guess, right? I don't know. Again, I'm trying to understand how you see this fight. I don't see this fight that way. I don't think the UK will travel. I wish we had somebody from the UK on. I should have texted UK Rob. My people won that war. And this people sold the land. Funny. My point, I myself despise Fury, but depending on where his allegiances lies, decides how much harm or good he does in his remaining time in the ring. Stay with Frank Warren, sign with Zuffa, or retire. Oh, okay. Got it. Well, I mean, listen, Frank absolutely needed Fury for a really long time. I don't know if he needs him anymore. He's starting to do more shows and better shows. I mean, I just don't know how much a Fury fight accounts for the total budget over there. But I can say that Zuffa would probably be the place that could use him the most. Not because at the tail end he's going to give us any real good fights or fights against real up and coming or prime guys, but because Zuffa is, like Bruce said earlier, in the place of wanting to sell the sizzle, not the steak, right? So Fury represents a big name. And if you're going to associate, like right now, you associate the NBA as the biggest basketball organization in the world because it has the best players. So commercial fans, they don't understand the NBA as this historic place where Jordan and Bird and Elijah played, right? They understand it as the place where LeBron plays or Anthony Edwards plays or damn, I can't even think of who would be like a fucking mainstream name now in basketball because I feel like so many of them are just like, I was about to say something bad. Never mind. This point's over. Shout out to Bill Haney. Since when have these big fights ever been about who can afford it? Well, that's crazy. I don't think you understand the situation, champ. You're trying to compare 2014 to now, but you understand though that the entire landscape of the European infrastructure and economy, or not infrastructure, the infrastructure of the economy was slightly fractured in a big way, right? And you also understand that so much more of what's happened in the wars have hurt the UK or hurt them as it relates to supply, right? And then there was already like a bigger supply demand. So the point I'm making is that in America, things are already tight. In the UK, it's been worse. So you're supposing is telling me one of two things. One, you're just ignoring all of the actual nuanced aspects of this. These are the big things that you're not covering. AJ Fury is not the fight it used to be. So the demand is what I'm asking you. You're saying the demand is so high that you believe that there are boxing fans out there that will sacrifice something at the end of the year for that, right? That's going to be a big percentage of them. So again, I'm saying of your 60%, you take the 100%, there's like 10 to 20 maybe that's just cut off already. Couldn't afford it even if they wanted to go, even if they were willing, even if they have no kids, no fucking wife, right? All alone, and they can afford to be selfish and just spend on whatever they want. They couldn't afford to go, right? And then you take the cost of what it would take for them to get over here today, what the percentage of their overall check it is. You're just having this conversation on a very surface level. And I'm trying to understand your reason for it, right? Because like to say, oh, they're just gonna come. Okay. I mean, Magic, sure, they'll just come, but they're not. It's not about even the fight. It's more so about what it's going to cost. So then you're not going to be able to say, let me say this. Okay, so iPhones had a bunch of iPhones come out, right? And you'd assume that when a thing comes out a bunch of times, people are going to stop buying it, right? But that's not what happens. So when this new iPhone comes out, everybody's going to run to buy it, right? But if it costs, so if in 2019 you paid, let's say 3% of what you make in a year for that iPhone, that was nothing. And then it was like 4%, and then it was like 4.5, and then 4.8, and then maybe 5. But then get to 2026 and it costs you roughly like 12% of your yearly income. And I know I'm being facetious. I know these are like, I'm obviously blowing these metaphors up way too much, but just play along with me, please. If that thing costs 12% of what it cost more, or if it costs 12% as opposed to 4%, that's a different discussion. That's a different decision now. It's not just, is it worth it on its surface level to me, as in I walk into Whataburger and I say, dude, do I feel like a Whataburger or a double? Is it worth it to me right now? Which one is worth it, right? But if I walk into Whataburger and they say, oh, well, a single is $10 and a double's $50. Well, no, it's not worth it to me anymore, right? I'm going to go to Burger King. I'm going to go to Wendy's. I'm going to just go to the fucking H-E-B and make my own burger that's going to be healthier. The idea of want and demand in scarcity, you're just saying, oh, they're going to show up because they have before. And that is enough evidence to you that they will again. That's it just doesn't factor in any of the real world things that have happened in between Floyd and Pac, in between Floyd and Hatton. It costs more for the UK today to get here. So is this fight has to be so big to them that they're willing to buy it, and they're willing to spend an exorbitant amount, right? It's like this. Let's say your kids needed a coat for school, right? And there's a coat at Kohl's and it's like $50 and it's like warm and it'll last and it's perfect. And then there's another one, but it's got like some Gucci trimming on it and it's like $1,500. Same thing, except it's worse because the Gucci stitching makes it that it only lasts a year, right? The value of something versus the value of another. I think that's what I'm saying. Yeah, I think that's what I'm saying. So you're talking about fights that were worth less, or you were talking about fights that were worth more back then that cost less to get to, versus a fight today that costs more to get to and is less valuable. There it is. I found it. Thank you. Thank you for sticking with me. I'm slightly autistic and ADHD, so I appreciate when y'all stay with me. But there it is. There's the argument I was trying to make. A couple stacks for sure. So when I'm right, so a couple stacks for sure. Yeah, I think that makes sense. 2,000? No, it would be like 2,000 for the flight, probably. No, how much does it cost? Let me see. How much does it costs to fly from UK General to NY? Oh, yeah, you were right, Matt. Good call. So the trip could be anywhere from 500 to 800, but Expedia and several other well-known travel sites suggest about a $900 dollar. Oh, okay. So up to $900 is what they're saying, but it's for like standard economy. But you could go like super cheap as low as 400. Yeah. So you might be right. They could get here cheaper. I paid 800 for one ticket to Spence Crawford, not the resell. When you want to go to a fight, you will. That's that's another good point. You're absolutely right. The resale market's a big part of this. And the resale market has become fucking, I don't know how much y'all pay attention to what's that ticket place and the people that put on the concerts. I had a couple of friends that were signed to them as musicians. I forget what it's called. Anyway, they do the ticket stuff. It's like a big fucking scam. You know what I mean? These people mark up the ticket. Like, by the way, it's just probably the shittiest business as it relates to consumer base, right? Because these people's fees, they're just ripping people off. That's all they're doing. And now there's no other way to get around it. See, in the past, when I was a kid, you could get around the fees by going straight to whatever the broker was, like Ticketmaster, right? And then Ticketmaster would have like representatives at like, certain like Sam Goodies or like whatever, right? Like random stores. And now you can't get away from them. It's bullshit. So, oh wait. So when I'm right about how well they're going to travel, Mario, will you apologize as loud as you are this loudly wrong? See, but I'm not even saying that they won't necessarily. I don't think they will. I don't think I've like officially made up my mind. Because I mean, here's the thing, like, you have to at least give me the grace that a lot of y'all have come up with some really good points that have changed the way that I see this. But the biggest thing to me is, what does Tyson Fury and Joshua represent right now, today, at this moment, to their most staunch base? Because I'm here and I'll tell you, like, we're going to watch on a Friday. I'm probably going to barbecue, probably going to invite the people over. It's going to feel big to me. I'll be honest. I don't know how many people are going to come on a Friday. I don't know how many people are going to be like really super stoked. And I use that as more of a basis for how casual fans feel about things. And so, if our interest is already lower than it should be for a fight like this, then that means that the UK's interest, I would assume, which is higher than ours, would be lower still. Yeah, I'm not disagreeing that they would travel. I'm disagreeing that, or I believe at this point, this fight wouldn't be worth it for them to be like, oh, cool, I'm going to go to fucking New York for a weekend and literally pay so much for food, so much. And that's the other thing. I thought y'all hated New York. Y'all are making it sound like everybody's going to want to fucking go to New York. This is their May pack. No. Is it? Matt, you think it is? Alex, you think it is? Is this their May pack? Let me see if I can get Elms or Jack to jump on. Then you can tell me how they're broke and can't afford to come. You can tell them to and you could say, I would love to ask them, like, as a general thing, right? Because like, I'm not saying that they're broke specifically, but shout out to Elms and Jack. People traveling for Thanksgiving that weekend too. Airports will be madness. Thanksgiving is the following week, isn't it? Well, either way, it's still, I mean, people travel like for like 2 to 3 weeks during that time, right? I think the longest stretch of travel time is like a month and a half. It's like the spring break weekend, I think, because so many colleges have it staggered out. Yeah, Luka, Cooper, the biggest names in American basketball leagues are European. Yeah, they are definitely getting more European for sure. And so is basketball. I mean, so is boxing, by the way, for a long time. Remember when Paulie Malignaggi got fucking canceled because he said Eastern Europe, dude? Oh man, the internet was crazy. And see, this is what the right wingers in my community don't get. So a lot of y'all act like it's 2016, where it's like the left are like this crazy, like, you be nice. but that's not the case anymore, right? Now we're in 2026, and it's much more the right wing, much more the right wing, policing language and things like that. So now y'all are on the old granny side. So now y'all are all the old grannies with stains in y'all's panties. Giannis, yeah, I think Giannis too. But wait, Cooper Flag, hold on. No, I'm gonna push back on Cooper Flag. Is he? I feel like he is with us, like our group of like people who watch sports, and you know what I mean? Like he's big in our circles, but like, because like I'll believe like women know Luca, right? LeBron. I'll believe women know Giannis, Wemby. I don't know. Cooper Flag. Is he? Maybe he is. Maybe I'm just fucked up on it. Hadn't Mayweather happened during a war with the Middle East and an economic crisis here as well? It was here, though. It wasn't. The UK didn't really suffer from our housing economic crisis. Yes, the demand is that high. They are coming, Mario. And when I'm right, you will come on this show and say, I'm Mario and I need to learn to listen to the Oracle. Joker. Yep, Joker. Is infusion? I don't know. Maybe. So again, these fights are never made readily accessible for the middle class, Mario. That's nothing new. There is an upper class in the UK. Sure. But I would say, though, first of all, the middle class has changed now, right? So like, let's say in the 50s where there was like maybe 10%, like 60%, and then the rest was, low middle to lower income. It's different now, right? There's a much bigger percentage of people that are treading water in middle class. So while middle class is still technically a thing, it's kind of like the word third world, right? That word doesn't really exist anymore. It's not. That's the way the way that word is used and what it means no longer has appropriations, right? When you think of third world, you're thinking of a specific region. And the problem is most Americans are, retarded and don't realize how big places are. And they're like, oh, look, see, Africa's filled with starving kids. And it's like, you're looking at one very specific. There's this African who did this joke. I saw it on YouTube. And he's like, our parents, I was going to do the accent, but I'm not. Our parents. No, I'm not going to do it. He's like, our parents did the same thing to us that they did to y'all. He's like, when y'all would see all the starving kids in Africa in the commercials, your parents would point to you and say, look, you don't want to be like them. Or it would be like, look, you see them, you should be happy for your food and you should be happy for your room and all that, right? And he would say, and then his joke was basically like, in Africa, it's the same thing. We have those same commercials. It's just that we know where those specific places are. So we're like, do you want to be like the people from blah, blah, blah? You want to be? And he's like, so I always wonder, do they have the commercials? And it just gets smaller and smaller. And so it's like, you want to be like the people across the street? Oh, man. It's such a good joke because that's how it was being poor. Everybody was like, no, those are the shit poor people. And it's like, no, those are the shit poor people. And it's like, you know what? We're all pieces of shit. How about that? Getting $5,000 VIP for a UFC event is a process itself. Add flight, posh hotel, dinner, and merchandise. It's a credit killer. Mamdani, New York makes it 5 times worse. Yeah, definitely. It's getting harder to be a traveler in New York. You know what it's getting easier to be? A person that lives in New York, though. It's definitely getting harder for outsiders of New York. But it's been getting harder. That's the other part, right? Nobody has helped this process. Everything has gone up. Nothing's come down, and nobody has an answer. So I'm done with it's still high over here. Yeah, but it's high everywhere. Let's not play that game. I didn't mean that for you, Alex, in terms of you're absolutely right about your whole point. I have ADD, so I add points. Let me see. New York is absolutely a shithole. Yeah, and you're saying that the UK can't wait to go and fucking spend a whole weekend in fucking traffic and paying way too much money for shit that they could have bought in the UK for half as much. I was just naming an example. Yeah. No. I think that was it was a good example too, by the way. Very good. But Paulie was right. No, and that was my point, is that was the internet back then. He said something true that, I mean, if you want to make it racially based, fine, but it's really not. It's a credit to the system it's like the European basketball, right? Like they've gotten so much better over time to the point where they tested us, when we had our fucking Dream team back up there, right? Um and it's just a testament to that. But it's sad because there's a portion of boxing fans who are absolutely like, they only watch it for the tribalism. They only watch it because of the division in it, right? So I don't know. It sucks, dude. It really does. But Paulie got canceled for like absolutely nothing. But you got to remember how big this is to them. Is it though? That's okay. So then that's what I'm saying too. It's like it is big to them, you think. Alex said that. Yeah. It's really not, Mario. The left is still like that. We've just figured out you don't step out of your echo chamber. The left is very much still political. Wait, give me an example, champ. Give me an example, because I'll give you 100 right. Well, maybe not 100, but I give you at least 10 right now, because Tucker got silenced, Fuentes got silenced, Candace got silenced, the fucking Caroline fucking said fuck them. Let me see what else. Jimmy Kimmel. That's a big one. And there's nothing Jimmy Kimmel, there, like, your argument would be like these random fucking weirdos on Twitter that got canceled in 2016. And I'm not saying that's right. That was very much wrong, right? You shouldn't just cancel people because you don't agree with the retarded shit they're saying. That said, though, you're talking about two longtime Hollywood elites in terms of the comedic world who were taken off of air by the right. And then you're talking about a complete resatirization of TikTok, its algorithm, and CBS. I don't think you watch much of the news outside of whichever podcasts and stuff talk about it. And the problem with that is that it's usually like a month late, right? Because PBD and Joe Rogan's probably the only guy that does like week to week stuff. But PBD oftentimes will cover stuff in length. And to be fair, that's the way most news organizations do it. And you should do it that way, is give the time to do this stuff, right? Like, look at the way they just did this Candace and fucking and what's his name? I mean, that thing was just stitched together. It was thrown together. I really don't fault them a whole lot for the prep in terms of how much time, right? Because like everybody's eating Andrew Wilson right now. Everybody's like, oh my God, he exposed himself. Like, he doesn't fucking do any prep. Like, that was horrible. More people, they did a poll. More people came out of that thinking that something was weird that didn't think was weird. That's a loss right there. He lost. And so if that's true, I don't even know if that's true or not. I saw it on some thing, so who knows? But all I know is that everything I've seen is that, dude, this guy's terrible. And so it's this idea that they exposed the grift, and that's what's been exposed on the right. See, I'm an actual conservative. I'm an actual Republican. I'm not a rhino like Trump people. I understand what a conservative America does. And you focus on the deficit, and you focus on the spending, and you become lean and mean and a fighting machine. And if there is any one person on this panel that could come on and tell me that's what Trump's doing, I'll laugh you into the ground before I fucking school the shit out of you. So no, Fury Joshua is not Mayweather Pacquiao in the UK. Yeah, and I didn't think it was either. I'll be honest. I was like, okay, maybe. But I don't know. And here's the thing. Maybe Alex is going to make a completely different point, right? Maybe Alex is going to make a completely different point. But I just feel like when you're talking about Fury Joshua, you're still talking about two like UK guys. Yes, they're global superstars. But to the level of Mayweather Pacquiao, is that the case? I don't know. I can't say. Mario, how long have you hated America? Funny. Talking points. And if you don't agree, you're retarded. Rinse, repeat. Yes, that is exactly how the right. You know what's hilarious? Mex, I seriously don't even think you're MAGA. I don't, because you never say things that are MAGA. Donald Trump got brought back into office and they said, thank God, retard and gay are able to be said again. It was the right that brought those words back. It's the right that used those words and called people gay and fag and retard and the N-word. It's the right that uses that kind of language. Now, on the left, there are a lot of people that use even crazier language. You know why it's crazier? Because oftentimes it's fucking made up out of nowhere, right? I mean, I'm not saying that cis male didn't exist before I heard of it like 8 years ago, but if it did, it was like not a big thing. And so, yes, you're right. Both sides are crazy. The idea that you still think one side is crazier than the other makes me think you're crazier than all of them. Like literally, like I can't see how you could see one side better than the other at this point. I really can't. Jimmy Kimmel was taken off air by an overwhelming majority because people were discussing it. No, that's not even true. Who, champ? Who are you talking about? You're talking about Twitter? Are you talking about like East Texas? Because his ratings were shit, but you understand that's not what matters anymore, right? We're in the social media era. This is about branding. Jimmy Kimmel's brand at the end of the day has been anti-Trump. They took him off for that. There have been far worse things said about Charlie Kirk in that time. And at the end of the day, the right took Hunter Biden's drug addiction, which is no more a controllable factor than getting assassinated, and in terms of like the mental hold it has over you. And so when the right made Hunter Biden this piece of shit motherfucker who should burn in hell, that absolutely stoked a different, that was like, oh, we're the side of morals on this side. It just doesn't work anymore. See, but then there's polls that say he cooked Candid. Whoa, no? See, Mex, I don't know what the fuck you watch. Please send me stuff. Please, I need to see what you watch, dude. I can't even understand where there are maybe 2 spots in the whole thing where I'd say Candace was up against the ropes. And both times he let her go. He didn't know how to corner. He didn't know how to get her in the place he wanted. You're focused on a thing because you're on his side. I'm not, right? I can watch it and say from a neutral side, right? I don't watch anybody that thinks TPUSA killed Charlie Kirk. I don't watch any. I mean, okay, no, I shouldn't say that. That's not true at all. I definitely come across all sorts of people that say that. But the people that I watch on a daily basis, the people that I watch, right? I'll like say Breaking Points is definitely a place that I go often. None of these people think, right? What's his name? Jim Moore? No, what's his name? The comedian guy. That used to be, or he is leftist, but he criticizes them a lot more now. Like even that guy, like there are so many of these places that was like not even close to like they're not conspiracy theorists at all. They're not people that they believe that they have the right guy. They went into it being on what's his name, Andrew's side. And they came out of it being like, holy shit, this guy is like, and this is my thing. Like, you watch the debate. Are you telling me that Andrew Wilson looked like a good debater to you? Are you telling me, or because all he did was internet shit, right? Like the putting the fingers up, like the count. Tell me. Nope. Tell me. Go ahead. Tell me. Answer me. Answer me. Answer me. Tell me. Tell me. Come on, dude. You fall for that shit? I know you don't fall for that shit, Max. Name me what Maypac of the UK is then. Maybe a bigger fight. See, and that's the only reason why I didn't. I waited for Alex to stand up for me for the argument. That's why I let Alex take the heat in this argument, bro, because I can't name a bigger fight. And that's why I feel like you might be right on that. You can't say those words on YouTube. Oh, I can't, can I? Did I get taken off? Anytime you bring up political thing, Mario, you end it with, and if you can't see that, then you're just, yeah, that's me personally. But again, Mex, I love you to death, but you're the only, you know that I have friends that call me right-wing all the time, that say that I'm a right-wing Joe Rogan fanatic. You think I'm on the left because you're so far, and I don't even think you're on the right. I think that you're in a very specific niche of politics, right? But at the end of the day, I am the one that says that, but I'm not a lefty. I'm not a liberal. I'm not, champ. You know I'm not. I make jokes all the time that you're like, Jesus Christ, I can't believe you just said that. I mean, not on air, obviously. Iran needs to just give up and everything. Alex, champ. No, he's getting a fucking, you know what? He's fucking right. They should just get, because I think it's right what's going on, but because god damn, dude, I'm just sick of these fucking prices, dog. I can't anymore. I can't, guys. It's too much. No, Mario, the timing of Kimmel specifically was definitely disgusting to people on both sides. Yeah, champ, but I don't think you understand that that was a thing they were trying to do for like 4 or 5 years. You don't understand that Kimmel is partially responsible for a demographic that Trump could win but won't win. And the same is true with what was his name with CBS, and the same was true with 60 Minutes, and the same was true with PBS. I mean, not PBS. Well, yeah, PBS and NPR. Like, have you ever listened to NPR? Have you ever listened? Who the fuck is that?
Outside, he came to me. He's the same size as Debbie.
What the fuck?
Yeah. He came right up to me. He's purring like a fucking machine right now.
Whose is it?
I have no clue. He was in the bush next to Andrew's place. Somebody been feeding him though.
Oh. And he came up to you
came
and
right
let you
up to
pick him up?
Yep.
Let me see, bring him over here. Or go let you. Hey, buddy.
Hi.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. He's friendly with people. Yep.
Yeah.
Dude, my wife keeps bringing cats home, dude.
No, I didn't. Okay, the first one I didn't bring home.
He's a cute guy.
He is.
What's his name?
I don't know. I just met him.
Is he a boy or a girl?
I have no clue.
Could you make me a coffee?
I love it. Hey, be nice.
Who is that? Of course, meow hissing. No, Kimmel was specifically. No way. That was 1000% political. If you can't see that, you're just too far on. You're just too far on the other side. And also, what was the other one? Oh, Corbijn. No, what's his name? The guy that was on fucking the show with what's his name? Mari, do you want Erica or her children to have peace or not? I mean, it's not that I don't care. I want everybody to have peace, right? Like, I love literally everyone the way a good Christian should. So I don't know Erica. I don't know her kids, but I know mothers who have had their husband or baby daddy killed and or gone to jail. So I know how hard it is for a single mom. Even if you're wealthy financially, that's not the problems of a single mother are never limited to finance, although that does make it tougher. So yeah, of course I want everybody to have peace. That said, what does peace look like to them? I don't think you even know. I mean, well, of course you wouldn't know. We wouldn't know. I don't know what peace looks like. I don't, because all I know is that TPUSA was built off of an infrastructure of combativeness, debate, and like I can appreciate a lot of it, right? But at the end of the day, it's like, what was Charlie Kirk other than a person who came on shows and challenged the official narrative, right? Am I wrong? And isn't that what Candace Owens does? And all I know is that they were close. I don't know if he'd appreciate or not what she's doing. I can't imagine he would, but I can say that these are the people that created this lane. These are the people that created this shit. Like, I'm supposed to be like, you guys stop now. Now it's unfair. Why is it unfair now? For the last 10, 20 or last 10, 15 years, like everything was on the table. Everything, right? Blacks being dumber than whites, that got on the table. That got back on the fucking table. And so what am I going to do? I'm going to sit here and like, here's the other thing. It's like, I'm not trans, nor do I know any. Well, no, I know plenty of people that are trans, or not plenty of people, but I know some people that are trans. But I don't know anyone trans close enough to like understand it, right? But like I do know that like if you start talking shit about like a very specific group of like Muslims or Christians, right? Even though it may not be like Catholic or like a bigger denomination, you're going to get some upset people and you're going to get some radicals. And so, you know, at the end of the day, this is the lane that they chose. You know, if I went live every day talking shit about people or stuff, I mean, I kind of do, but like a specific people for a specific thing, I can't say that I could just sit there and think, oh man, I'm completely absolvent of this. It was wrong, it was horrible, but again, what does peace look like? Because to me, peace would be taking all of them outside of the public eye and, you know, trying to heal. It wouldn't be going back into the limelight. It wouldn't be going like immediately in front of the thing. I'm not on either side. I didn't know this guy until then. I told you they both came off looking bad. She didn't. Oh, that's right. You did say that. My bad, champ. Max, please remember that I talk a lot with people when it comes to this stuff, because some people like are political and follow it, and some people aren't political at all and still follow it because they love debate. So sometimes I mix you up with my brother or with Adam or Mike or even UK Rob, and I used to chop it up about this stuff, but we haven't in a while. But yeah, so my bad. I forgot you did say you didn't know him. But you're still on that side though. Not his side specifically, but you're still on the side of you believe this is what happened to Charlie, and this makes it wrong. And so talking about it in this way, like you're against Candace, right? Like you don't, I'm not saying like against her. Like, I mean, like you're against the narrative, right? That Charlie was, that there was like a plot or something. The point was polls don't mean shit. Oh yeah. Yeah. That's a fair point. That's a fair point. Polls don't mean shit. But I will say that general consensus do. And I think the general consensus is that he lost, and not just lost, that he got embarrassed in some parts. Like, look, you've already seen it, but you know what? I'm gonna have to bring it up. So here's the clip. I'm gonna play this. Hold on, I'll go through this stuff real quick. I personally would have had a law officer debate Candace instead of Andrew. Yeah, absolutely. Like, and see, that's, man, fucking another clap for fucking Alex, bro. Give Alex another fucking clap. That's, you're absolutely right. See, this is my problem with it the most. This wasn't about Charlie. This wasn't about Charlie. This wasn't about Charlie's wife and his kids. And this wasn't about some insane, crazy monster or monsters that committed an incredibly gross act of violence, completely unnecessary act of violence. That wasn't what this was about. This was about Andrew Wilson getting more famous. This was about Candace Owens doubling down on one of the last big things that she has that's attracting. Like, see, this is what you have to understand. You can't look at this debate on its surface. You have to understand where all this is coming from. Like, if you don't understand what Candace was doing during the P. Diddy stuff, before the Netflix, before 50 Cent, Candace was one of the first, this is years ago. This is like not decades, but this is years ago. She'd been doing this stuff. She's one of the only people that was covering that stuff. Right. And that brought her to another level. Right. And then, you know, she took on a lot of different right-wing stances, like trans stuff and abortion, and then she took on the anti-BLM stuff during the Black Lives Matters and the George Floyd. It's like, if you don't understand her arc and where she is at in her career at the moment she stepped in there with Andrew Wilson, then you're missing a big part of it, right? And obviously I'm not talking to any of y'all specifically, I'm just saying this in general. But you're missing a big part of it, right? If you don't know who Andrew Wilson is and you don't know his background, right? This is a fucking disgusting human being, right? This is a guy, these are the kinds of dirt, like gross people that they align with on both sides. This guy has argued that it's okay to fuck 16-year-olds or 17-year-olds or 18-year-olds, and that the only thing that matters is what the law is in that state. I can't think of a more pedophilic idea. I can't think of a more pedophilic way of looking at life, to assume that children are adults just by some random state saying that's the arbitrary number, as opposed to the idea that it is maturity and growth and experience that develops people into the kind of human being that can conduct a relationship with another person. The idea that you can date a 19, 20, or even 21-year-old, let alone a 16, 17, 18-year-old, and not at some point try to coerce them into being exactly what you want and have the ability to make them listen to whatever you want. Like, that's fucking crazy shit, bro. And so why didn't you send in somebody that would actually know? Why didn't you send somebody in who could actually do that shit? That's what pisses me off. I don't know, Mars, since you love polls so much, if we polled the masses on if you are right or wrong, liberal or down the middle, if you are right wing or liberal or down the middle, I'm willing to bet 85. Again, you're willing to bet that because you're so far to the right. You don't, Mex, again, you don't understand. I have people in my life that will call me right winger, that call me a conservative, that call me Joe Rogan dick sucker, that call me all sorts of things. And you know why? Because they're so far to the left, right? There are people that are on the left that I very much disagree with when it comes to how we allocate social services, right? And then there are people on the right that I disagree with that are capitalist dick suckers, and there's really no other way to put it. They don't know how to they can't argue against it being bad because both sides have their pros and cons, but they can't see that. They can't say, oh, there's a con here or there's a pro here. They can only say this is the way because this is the only way they've ever been taught. This is the only way they've ever been showed. When you come from a line of people that say Cowboys good, Redskins bad, you're always going to think that the Redskins are bad, right? You're always going to think that the Cowboys are good. And so that kind of thinking, it molds your personality. It molds who you are. So you see me in a certain way and you believe that the vast majority of people see you in the middle. Not true, champ. Not even close to true. What is it? I don't know. Candace simply won by coming up on 300K. Oh, that's a very good point too. Did Mario get swat? No, not yet, but I will. But as far as the debate, they both sucked. Yeah, it was terrible. Thank you. Very good. You know what? Here's a clap for fucking your ass. Didn't mean to say that. No, but that's a very good point. You're absolutely right. They both sucked. It felt so pointless. I mean, here's the thing. It was a internet debate, right? And I listen, if y'all ever seen this debate with Charlie, let me see. Fuck, what's the guy's name, dude? Fuck, what's his name? Hold on. Oh, Alex O'Connor. That's his name. Okay. Alex O'Connor versus Charlie Kirk. The fuck? Where the fuck is it? Is she here still? Where? Oh. Ash, we have 3 cats in here at every point in the day. Is it the Cambridge? Sorry, I'm trying to pull it up. No, it's not this one either. Fuck, where is it, dude? Alex O'Connor. Am I like not? Dude, this is crazy. I've seen this debate a million times in different places, and now all of a sudden it's like fucking not here. I just wanted to show y'all like a picture of it to see if y'all have ever even seen it. I don't even give a fuck. All right, I can't find it. I don't know what happened to it. Or you know what? Let me just look. I guess I'm tripping, bro. Oh, here it is. No. I guess I'm tripping. Nah, I swear to God, I want to end stream like right now because I know where the fuck. I know I'm not tripping. Damn. Yeah, I was a cat. Go ahead. Said you were gonna say if I can't see, then I'm just. I know I was gonna say it again. Candace is a bitter side. Yeah, but I'm saying I'm not a liberal. Like this doesn't work on your argument. I'm not. You can call me that if you want, but I'm not. I'm not accepted in liberal circles. I'm not accepted in democratic what's the word, like discords. I don't mean the app Discord, I mean like social media Discord, like IG. Like I'm not accepted as a liberal, as a Democrat. It's not that I'm not accepted like to be able to talk, it's just that people don't take me as a Democrat, they don't take me as a liberal, specifically those that are all the way on that side. Are you sure you are trans? I mean, pretty sure. It's totally cool if you are. I mean, it would be for me and the most of the liberals I know. Would it be for you and the people on the right that you know? Because to me, that speaks again to what conservatism is. Conservatism is the idea that government cannot tell you what to do. And I don't buy, like, I don't consider you a conservative. I don't consider you a Republican. I consider you a 21st century, you know, like coming out of the magosphere, right? It's not a, you don't have a political take. You have a, what's the word? Socio-political. No, like it's more of like how you see the world should work as opposed to policy, as opposed, because the idea of like, okay, well then what is trans? Because the only people on the internet that I see that can answer that are the dumbest ones that are like, it's a penis when it should be a vagina. And it's like, okay, but you understand law is nuanced. You understand law has to be written in a very specific way. And if you don't, then what you're not understanding is that when your kid goes and they're born and they have half a genitalia or like two genitalias, like the government shouldn't tell you and your wife and the doctor what you're able to do, right? Did you see the news story about a woman who got shot? She's pregnant. She got shot in an attempted robbery, and they're charging her with manslaughter for the baby's fetus. That's a real story. That is not a, you know, kids are being cats at school story. It's a real story, because while it's very easy to have the abortion is wrong or right conversation, there are actual real world complications when trying to enact these things, right? Like I can say that I'm pro choice from a legal standpoint, right? I believe the law is better left allowing a person to decide what their choices are, while at the same time, for me personally, could never have a woman get an abortion, or not have. Obviously, it's not my choice fully, but if it were up to me, any woman I got pregnant, I would raise that baby. I would take care of that baby. And now I'm lucky because I have a family that would love that child and, help me take care of it and all that. So I'm lucky, but it's like it's like a situation where these are cool podcast topics, but when they get into the nuance of how to actually um like operate them or articulate them, it becomes a completely different and more difficult conversation. Oh, let's switch the subjects to the solo face turn last night. Everything you wanted, it was fucking amazing. I absolutely loved it. And to be honest with you, we don't have a lot of more time. I was gonna see if anybody wanted to jump on, but I actually forgot to put the thing. So I guess I'm fucked. But yes, I loved it. I'm glad you said it. We are going to come back a little later. So we're going to do wrestling a little more and some MMA stuff I wanted to bring up. I think we'll watch the Contender series. Let me see. So it starts at 6. Yeah, I think we'll come back for it. I think. If not, we'll come back like during it for sure. But we'll watch that welterweight main event, Namo Fazia versus Kaique Brito. He's Brazilian. So 10-1-0 versus 19-6 for Kaique. I think I'm going to say it Kaique. I don't the way that it is spelt, I'm very scared to say. But yeah, Solo's thing was great. We'll talk about that tonight. I definitely do think this is a big conspiracy, but I've always felt that Robinson didn't act alone. Yeah, I don't know, champ. I really don't. I just feel like it'd be so hard for them to have not gotten somebody that was responsible. And besides, it's like, if he wasn't responsible, why did he text all those things about being responsible? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. To me, it just seems, again, I don't watch Candace enough to know what her argument is. And she didn't win me over by anything she said. All she proved to me was that she understood Andrew Wilson enough in this debate to know like where to come from it. But yeah, they should have had somebody like a legal expert or like somebody who, like Alex said. And to Alex's point, she won't agree to debate Officer Tatum, who they both confirm are friends. Oh, they are? Or yeah, I think I've seen that. And he doesn't believe, yeah, he believes they did get the right person, right? Because I know he had that guy on his show that showed how the 40-6, basically like explodes a person. Mario, do you like when he said he still believed Erica is your favorite word? Wait, Mario, do you like when he said he still believed Erica is your? Oh yeah, that was a funny part. And that was the thing is, I think if he did anything, he showed that there is some sort of like, the point is Candace knows like what's going to get her clicks. You know what I mean? So like she's going to say some of the grossest things, even if she believes it or not. I think people's turn off with Candace is that most people believe she is doing her friend dirty with all of this. Yeah. I mean, I can't like, she was like, oh, I know Charlie would want it. I don't think he would. I can't imagine. Like this is these are his kids and his family. Like, I don't think Bull would be, how come of the primary show super liberal? There's no way you don't see it. Wait, would be how come off primarily on this show and you come off as super liberal? I think the reason I do though is because so much of the internet went right. Like I was one of the people that talked about Burisma and how shitty that was and how gross it is for pay to play or any of that kind of stuff, right? But like I never thought in any, like my problem's never been with Republicans. It's never been with conservatives. My problem is with MAGA. My problem is with Trump. They're leading us in a way that's fucking ruining the country, from diplomacy to social tensions that and from affordability, like everything. He hasn't fixed crime. He hasn't fixed jobs. He hasn't fixed affordability. He hasn't fixed the groceries. He hasn't fixed gas. And now we're in some random war that literally nobody ever talked about or brought up during the campaign. And then he just brought it on us randomly for no reason. Like, yeah, he said no new wars. And so it's like, I have many conservative principles. I'd honestly be willing to bet that I have more conservative stances than you, because from a financial standpoint, from a socioeconomical standpoint, there are unbreakable beliefs that I have as it relates to corporation and the self-reliance that people can have. Eddie said it's agreed to. Did he? Wait, what? Oh shit! I didn't even see fucking UK Rob's been here the whole time. Max, I don't even know what they are. Bro. Yeah, people coming for the titles are going to be so confused. Oh, okay, UK Rob, do you think that the people from UK will show up? I'm saying 60% of the crowd will be UK. Yeah, maybe. I'm glad we're talking whilst Mario's discussing genitalia. Yo, I didn't see he was there, and Mex distracted me this whole time. Dude, I think 60% is crazy. I think that's crazy. It seems like it would be a situation where, so you're saying like the vast majority of the tickets being sold are going to come from the UK. That's what you're saying. Overfit. Wow, dude. And I know you said it earlier, but I just thought you were giving us a random number. Now you're doubling down and saying 60%. Matt, UK, Rob, I went on the soapbox for y'all earlier. All right. I said it from the very beginning. This is fucked up that it's not in the UK. But I also think, do y'all even care? Is it even a situation you want? Right? Because first of all, big time boxing doesn't happen on a Friday. We all know that, but that's okay. We can live with that. But Madison Square Garden for this fight feels like, I don't know. It just feels like, it feels weird. It feels weird. And you know, I think about what that like gate looks like. And is the idea that the UK is willing to travel, so we should punish them for being such good fans by making them pay more to come over and watch this fight? Is that not how it feels? 60% of the crowd from the UK doesn't seem crazy to me. I don't know it, but how could I put this? I'm trying to think of imagine if the Cowboys were playing the Super Bowl in Cowboys Stadium, right? But they were going to play against the Giants. Like, you wouldn't assume that the building's going to be 50-50, right? You'd assume it's going to be mostly people that are Cowboy fans because it's a cheaper ticket, right? Overall, because you don't have to pay for travel, you don't have to pay for hotel. To me, there's enough people in the States that'd be willing to go that the UK is not going to be able to wait on it super long. Alex, for me, just on resume, it's KT. Clarissa doesn't have opponents, and it's a shame for her. Yeah, it's an utter shame, and it's disgusting. This fight could be in the U.S. Rob, are you holding on some hope? Mex and I are still holding on hope. Or, well, Mex doesn't want to call it hope. He wants to call it something else. But we all still think if it hasn't been officially announced, then maybe there's a chance that it doesn't happen where it happens. All I know is that everyone I've spoken to has said it's going to be on a Friday. Everyone I've spoken to has said it's at the time that we spoke, New York was the most obvious place, or most likely place, I should say. And nothing's changed. Everything's remained the same. So I'm, even though Abe came on earlier and said this wasn't, you know, announced, and Mex actually said that before, I should make sure that I say that. I just can't imagine that anything's going to change on this. And also the word that Netflix, you know, is a little worried about Fury's numbers in the last one, despite the fact that he fought a nobody. But they wondered if the idea of having a fight on prime time in the UK, making it like what, 4 o'clock in the States, 5 o'clock, would bring down the numbers. I don't know though. I don't know. It's so hard. It's so different because it's like, I feel like we've gotten used to it now. like, I'm a fight fan. I know that if Joshua or somebody's fighting across the pond, I'm gonna have to make sure that I'm ready by like 2 o'clock if I want to watch the undercard, 1 o'clock if I want to watch the undercard, right? Like if I'm only interested in the main event or the co-main event, like the Shiraz fight, this last one, right? I knew I should be in front of a screen by like 4 o'clock. And so that works. But Netflix is it's a much bigger thing. Like if you're DAZN, you're Netflix needs this to work. Like, and they need a big number, big number. Mario, is there some games now during good season where the crowd outnumbers fan? That is true. That's a very good point. There are home games where Cowboy fans outnumber, but I wonder if that's because they travel or if that's because Cowboys are the team of America. So everybody in America is obviously has to have Cowboy fans in their place, or they're not American. Window of opportunity. Yeah. Well, Eddie said the news isn't true. It isn't. Agreed. Yeah, Abe came on earlier. He mentioned that. And so I'm, that's a reason to at least hold out some hope, right? It's a reason to at least say, okay, maybe this isn't what's going to happen. Maybe if we cause enough backlash, maybe if we talk enough shit, they'll be like, holy shit, maybe we really should send this to the UK. Because again, it feels like it is a, what's the word? Fuck, like it's a penalty for the UK being such big fans. Hey, do you love boxing? Oh, you do? Hey, have you supported a guy who was once a drug addict and has several mental problems that, cause him to be erratic? Hey, are you going to support this guy who was in a life-threatening car wreck and is going to come back to do one of the hardest sports? Oh, y'all are? Well, here, pay 5 times the amount that the Americans have to pay. I don't know. It feels like shit. Eddie is the devil, though. Lying is his nature. Oh, man. I love Alex. Folks here won't be watching live at 4 a.m. That's for sure. Yeah, no. And that's the thing. It's like, oh, man, what is going to happen, dude? There's no way they could put this on late, right? It's got to be on early enough. What would be the middle ground? I feel like 5 o'clock is like, what time is 5 o'clock y'all's time? So there is a 6-hour difference. Okay. Damn. So it's like 11 p.m. when when the fights happen for y'all? Yeah, about 10, 11. I don't know. That's crazy. So like, what about like 12 o'clock and 6 o'clock? See, that feels terrible for both sides. Like that's a little too early for America. And that's kind of super late for I don't know if it's late for the UK, but that's late in the UK. Only hardcores and those numbers are dropping drastically. Eddie Hearn is nowhere near as big a liar as Dana. Alex C, at least we're on the same page on something because no way is Katie pound for pound #1 over Clarissa. So on Netflix, how many Americans tune in at prime time the USA? Yeah, that's a good question. I because a lot of those numbers we don't know with the Netflix, like what they're like. A lot of this stuff is just not circumstantial, but it's I mean, it kind of is. I mean, the way they get to these numbers is not like an exact science. You know what I mean? And so what percentage of people are watching live during the day? So it's UK. So it's football season or college football season, American college football season. Sorry, Manchester Mario almost made a fuck up. Real football is played in cleats and no helmet. But I don't know, man. I don't know. Here's the thing. I think that at the end of the day, this is something they just owe the UK anyway. I'm just gonna say it like that. The only people that supported Tyson Fury when he came back with Wilder, right, off of alcohol addiction, cocaine addiction, off of the depression, the bipolarism, all that. That was the UK, man. They had his back, right? AJ, same thing. Remember when everybody was mad at AJ for the, don't shop at white or black or whatever the fuck he said. I don't even remember what he said. Like everybody got pissed at him, bro. It was like only the UK that held him down. I don't know. Maybe I'm just too nostalgic for these people. Are we in agreement on the bet, Mario? My beard versus you? Absolutely. No, I'm gonna do the whole thing, champ. I'm going to give you the whole thing. AJ wins this fight. And I'm going to tell you why. Y'all, Matt made a very good argument earlier. Matt said, hey, you're going to see, this is basically the situation that he was in with Wilder. Comes back, right? So he has that ability, and that's fine. That's great. I love that he has that ability. But we're talking about a guy that's so much older now. We're talking about a guy that's been so much, who's been not as active. And we're talking about a guy who hasn't even fought the caliber of guys. I mean, when did he fight Usyk? That was like years ago now. So 11 Central Time to get it at 5 in the UK. Exactly. So it's nearly 11 p.m. here now. Yep. So that's 6 hours. 300 million subscribers for Netflix in the USA. Damn. That is a lot. That is a lot. I don't know. And that's the other thing. It's like, you don't even have to be a boxing fan for the Netflix thing to pay off, right? Because like, if you watch wrestling or you just watch like some sports movies, they're going to be like, oh, this guy's got at least a little bit of testosterone in him. We're going to send him, look what's on live now. Like, so much of this is just like it's the first thing that hits your screen. Like when they had that Mexican boxing celebrity event. Do y'all remember that? I forgot what it was called, but it basically looked like a lucha libre wrestling promoter poster, right? And it was all these boxers and influencers that I've never fucking heard of in my life. Dude, that thing did a huge number on Netflix. A huge number. You know why? Because of primetime placement and the poster. That was it. People was like, cool. Deal. Me and Mex, y'all heard it here. I'm clipping it. Official. It's the beard versus the queer. You have to tell us which one is which. No, I'm just kidding. But we're putting facial hair on the line, champ. And that's real deal in Texas. We don't fuck around with that. You know what? That reminds me. Come to Texas and you get them fish and chips from me. And then you go and you get that AJ Fury fight in New York. Because everybody knows that when it comes to big time UK boxing, New York is the place to be. And when it comes to fish and chips and a traditional English breakfast, Texas is the place to be. Now, English breakfast is way better, though. I remember, what's his name, Alex, from the UFC, Patty Pimblett. He was like, bro, y'all's breakfast sucks. Y'all want me to do the accent? Your breakfast sucks. Your breakfast sucks. Bangers, and they make you choose bacon versus sausage, mate. Why not have both? How good is that? Is that good or not? UK Rob, tell me how good that was. On a scale of like 1 to 10, was that like an 8, a 9? You tell me. 33 million watched Joshua Paul. And you got to wonder, was that the like pop of the bubble, right? Like everybody knows like the 2008 housing crisis bubble popped. Everybody remembers the .com bubble popping. The AI bubble will someday pop at some point, right? Did the day Joshua popped Paul's jaw out of place was the moment that he popped the illusion that boxing has on the casuals? Maybe, maybe not. I brought up he is using the winning formula. That's right. You did. I don't care how many subs Netflix have. Amazon Prime is a shit ton too. And we never heard a number for their boxing for a reason. Yeah, because nobody fucking watched. Oh man, I don't know. All I know is that this fight I am up for. And I might be the only one in America, but I am going to probably get a brisket. We'll probably put it in on Thursday. Probably do some pork ribs. Have my mom do rice and beans and pico de gallo. And we're going to do this big. I'm going to go live like at fucking 2:00. Or whatever. I mean, I guess we're just going to depend on what time the time thing starts, but assuming it's like at a 7:00 start time. But that's the other part about it, dude. Like UK Rob said, they're not going to watch it at 2 a.m. That's so fucked up to do to them, dude. Crazy work. But anyway, listen, I got to go. It is about 15 minutes past the time, but that's okay. Appreciate everybody tapped in. UK Rob, you are the champ. My issue with Friday is if we still in playoffs, I have to fucking broadcast. Oh, fuck, dude. I didn't even think of that. Shit. Wait, November 20th would already be playoffs for y'all? Yeah, I guess late November, early December. Sure. Okay. But anyway, listen, we will be back tonight. I will have a show probably like around 9-ish Central Time. And we'll be back for wrestling and MMA and everything we didn't talk about with boxing, which is the Navarrete fight, which is such a good fight. What else? I missed something else. Oh, the Tio Rolly stuff. I don't even really want to talk about that fight. I don't even care about it. I'll be waking up hoping to see Joshua win by KO on socials. Yeah, dude. See, look at that, Mex. They don't care. They don't care. Regular season ends the first week on November. Oh, okay. I mean, it's been so long since. So yeah, I believe you. You'll be hoping Longtime Fury is packing him up, Rob. Well, then I can't wait for Mex to come on, and he's going to shit. No genitalia. No genitalia, I promise you. But anyway, we'll be back later tonight. And then if you're not back with us tonight, we'll be back tomorrow. Early, probably like around 11-ish, 12-ish. So until then, peace. And make sure you go to YouTube, X, and TikTok and Twitch to follow us on Infighting FX. INFIGHTING FX. And then on Instagram, it's at Marmogia. So, that's where I'm at. If Furies loses, I'll shave. Yeah. That's what I was going to say. You got to shave off air or on air, and I'll shave on air too. And then, yeah, that'll work. Champ. Peace.